Hey all, welcome to Business Hacks. Today we want to talk about some powerful hacks for how to grow your business fast. So what I thought I'd talk about is how to turn resistance into sales. So this morning, every morning, pretty much most days, I do a workout, and they had us do this thing where you put this little towel down, like a little square thing on the floor, and then you hop on each side of it. And, you get kind of like a groove going and you're targeted. It was all about, target practice, being sure that you hit your goals, get really specific and get really dialed in, right? And I didn't want to do it. I was like, I didn't want to put the towel down and jump around. So I was just kind of hopping around and it wasn't really getting me the outcome because I was all over the place. And it occurred to me, this is just kind of like goal setting. When you don't do it, you're kind of all over the place, right? So to reach your goals, you have to be specific about where they are, and then you have to hit each of the milestones to get your outcome. So, it's the third week of January, and I'm sure most of you guys, because you're good, you made your plans, and you got into action, and you did some stuff, and how are you doing? How do you stay on track to actually keep the momentum going that you had at the beginning of the year when you were all excited about, this new year coming up and you want to make a difference, you want to do this differently this year. So a lot of what we do is the big why question, right? It's this big thing, it's the big concept, it's what you attach your meaning to. And I love it. That's what we do. This is the first thing we dial in, and as far as we're concerned, it's a really important thing to do. But what I've learned is if you just have that big why, it's kind of like floating around in the ether. It doesn't get you anywhere. So it's important to have, but it's just kind of like this framework. And then you have to really come up with the important actions, the powerful strategy to get this thing connected so that you actually get somewhere with it, right? So, because what we've noticed when you don't do that is your big why quickly turns into this big reason for why not. And, we talk to a ton of people every week, and what we notice is a lot of times for really big change to happen, what's missing is the commitment, like that really big commitment that keeps you connected to what you're doing, to your outcome, to your results, and to what you ultimately want to create, right? So there's always a reason for why not to do it. So you have your big reason why, and then you have your big reason for why not. And that kind of sucks because that really stops you cold in your tracks, and then you're not going anywhere if you commit to your reason why not more than you commit to your reason why. And a lot of times that reason why not, or why you pay attention to the reason why not, is because you are rooted in resistance. And resistance, a lot of times it's fear, right? And when you recognize that there's a lot of resistance that keeps you stopped in your tracks, it also means that this thing that you're doing is super important to you. So the more resistance, the more important this thing is you're working on. And resistance comes up because the more important something to you is, the more you're attached to the outcome. So the more you're attached to the outcome, what happens to a lot of people is the fear of failure and the fear of success is just going up and up and up. So the more important this thing is, the more it's really natural that you're really afraid of failing, or also at succeeding, because failing is one thing you can just give up. But when you succeed and you don't have all your strategies and stuff and your structures in place to make this success go on, then you could take even a deeper dive, right? So that's like this fear of success and fear of failure, and you're building more and more resistance, and then you're dragging your feet. And so what now? How do you solve this problem? Because you still want to get your outcome, right? Get committed. That's the simple truth. The simple hack is you have to get committed. And you go probably like, great, that's an awesome answer. How do I do that? How do I get committed? So you have to think about what makes you committed. And a lot of times the really powerful hack for that is understanding the powerful consequences that happen if you fail. So for a lot of you guys who are entrepreneurs, who have started your business, and it's not necessarily going 100%, your powerful reason for why you can't quit is what's going to happen if you fail. You might have to get a job. You're going to go bankrupt. Your family won't have a roof over their heads. It's like every single thing that you can think of that's like the biggest fear if this thing doesn't work. You got to pull those out, because you have to get connected to what happens if I will fail. So that's where that hack is, right? That's where I can connect your powerful resistance into sales. And stick with me for a minute here, because it might not make sense right away. But when you can sell yourself, which is getting commitment, you can sell anybody, right? I mean, you are going to be your toughest customer. So if you can sell yourself on getting committed to succeeding in your business and doing everything you have to, no matter what, then you can also use that same strategy to help your clients over that bridge of fear and resistance that they know they need to cross if they want to change. So you know you need to cross this bridge of fear and resistance to get to your ultimate outcome and results, and so do your clients. So when you know how to hack that for yourself, you can help them do the same thing. So that means help for them and money in your pocket. And not just that, also you get to feel like you're making a difference, you're having an impact, and you're living your ultimate purpose, right? So you really have to check out your commitment level, right? Check out how committed you actually are. So there's kind of a distinction to make here, because like I said, I talk to a lot of people every week, and a lot of times what I find out is there's a big difference between if you're merely interested because it sounds like a great idea, or you're actually committed and you're ready to take action now, not next week or next year. This is the thing you want to solve now. So making that distinction, are you really committed or are you merely interested? And you know, you can kind of tell the difference, because if you're just interested, you're going to be just talking about it. You're going to be wanting it. It sounds like a great idea. But when it comes down to brass tacks, where you have to actually do things differently, you're going to bow out. You're going to say, nah, that sounds too difficult or uncomfortable, or I'm afraid of that, and I'm just not going to do it. So it's really, this is a big piece of truth, right? And you have to come to that truth with yourself. And that's also a piece of truth that you need to get to with your clients when you have those enrollment conversations. Are they merely interested, or are they committed? Because only the committed can go through this journey that we know as entrepreneurs is just not easy. It's not an easy thing to do to build a business. It's not an easy thing to do to put one foot in front of the other every single day and keep doing that until you actually get to the outcome that you want. So making really clear you're actually committed. And that means you need to be okay with getting uncomfortable and being okay with failing, because you're gonna. That's just the simple truth. If you are doing something daring, something big, something awesome, you are going to fail. And just own that. And then you just get up and do it again. It's like, you know, when you learned how to walk, you didn't just fall down once and give up, right? You just kept getting up until you had it down. That's the same thing right now. So be really committed to this thing that you want to do, and be okay with failing, and just take it as part of the course. And then the next thing that I'm really big on, you can try this by yourself. I'm sure you'll get there eventually. And if you're okay with doing this slowly, then you can try that. But if you're ultra committed and you want to get this thing done now, you want to get the show on the road, it's really important that you ask for help. So asking for help, really big deal. And that means you might want to ask somebody who's done it, who's been through it, who's failed themselves, and who can tell you the hacks for how to get there more quickly, or more importantly, more effectively. Because that's kind of the deal, right? Are you one of those people who likes to make their own mistakes and is okay with getting this done more slowly? Or do you want to learn from somebody else who's done it before, so you can kind of pass by all the, shit show on the road and just get it done? So We have created a great training for you to help you get there. And it really addresses the main reasons for why you may be struggling and growing your business right now and what to do about it. And I'll put the link for the training below so you can check it out and you can talk to us about it. So as always, be bold, be courageous, dare to do and say the things that other people won't. And we'll see you on the next video.